Hello, how's it going, boys? Well, you see the title card. You see what's going on. We need to find a non-DD league starter, chat. Something that isn't gonna make you FOMO. Okay, it's pretty hard though. They nerfed everything and they left DD alone. And then the boring part of DD is the playstyle, and then Cock solves that. So DD is looking giga appealing. So we need to try to find a new league starter, chat. Okay, we need to find a cool build. Okay. Now I have a few ideas. Well, they're not my ideas. You know how it goes, chat. You know how it goes. But I have a few things to show you. I guess is more apt.
Mine now.
DD login.
So for starters, let's get it off the bat. Cock DD. Okay, this is the enemy. The enemy. Okay, we need to not play this. Okay, builds we can league start. Now, here are some builds that I think could be potentially fun to play. Okay, for starters, the new Tornado gem actually looks like it's about the same strength as BV. Once you factor in the less damage, but then you gain more damage from the support gem, it basically scales the exact same way. So I genuinely think Tornado, the new Tornado, could work. Especially if you double 6-link with BV and Tornado, because you're like, think about it this way, right? Imagine BV, but with double the damage. And half your damage works at ranged. So you can literally, Tornado's a meme. No, I don't think it's a meme. Tornado equals new BV tech. It's literally BV. Like, if you look at the numbers, let's just do some numbers here. Let me just do some numbers here. Where is this bad boy? Here we go. So the new NATO is 290 to 435, 290 to 435. If you look at the Tornado versus the BV, if you look at the difference there, this doesn't need more than 3 casts per, BV, and BV on the other hand kind of needs Unleash. And so it's essentially the same sort of mechanical feel, but you don't need Unleash. You get the additional support gem there. And so we'll value the support gem at, let's say, 35% more damage. That's the thing, you can't scale BV with cast speed either, which is why it's a perfect comparison. They both have the same base duration. They both want duration for quality of life. You both cap out at 3 tornadoes or 10 blades. So if you look at that 5.9k value, compare it to 290 plus 435 divided by 2 times 4 times 3 times 1.35. It's literally BV. Look at the numbers. So what's really cool about this, chat, is we don't need to theorycraft this build. This build exists. This build is just BV, literally. It's literally just BV. And so you can look at any BV build in the game right now on PoE Ninja, look at all of them, and they all work, because they have the exact same scaling in every way, except for Pure Fizz. But I don't think Pure Fizz is really a thing. People convert, and this build already converts for you. I guess I should mention, -2 joules, which is shit, if you want to deal single elemental type. Which you probably do. So you gotta take the L there, potentially. Unless you play like an Inquisitor, which is viable. You could do an Inquisitor BV, right? And BV's a popular build. Like, if you look at this play rate, 1,000 people at this point in the league. Admittedly, as a league starter, I think we can agree it's a bit weaker, but let's just look at the high-level builds for now. You see, you got your Pathfinders, your Occultist, which is a very popular pick, and I think it could be a very popular pick for Tornado as well. Assassin, Elemental, Chieftain. And so there's a non-negligible amount of Chieftains, right, that make this work, and they actually get pretty respectable numbers and pretty respectable defense. And, again, now here's the cool part, right? Almost every single BV build that you look at runs double 6-link. And so it's very easy, in my opinion, because they're running like random bullshit here, right? It's very easy well, not easy, but it's doable, in my opinion. It's doable to run double 6-link Tornado and have double damage based off that. And I think you could maintain both with on any regular BV build. But usually the way BV builds work is you cast on Unleash only. So the Tornadoes would just be in between. You would weave, essentially. You'd have a weaving playstyle. Well, anyway, point is, I think if you don't mind playing a skill like Righteous Fire or Blade Vortex, I think the new Tornado could either supplement or replace these abilities. Then, right, the new Archmage, as we've already discussed, maybe we haven't discussed it, but I've been doing a lot of theory crafting off stream. But the new Archmage is also really, really, really good. There's two variations of this. There's the regular, you know, the Archmage that you're used to, right? You link it to an ability, you cast the ability, it does damage, right? We're talking like your arcs, your ball lightnings, things like that, right? And that is really fucking good. And I think I might be league starting this. But there's the new tech, because if you watch Connor at all, he's like, you know the mana stacking guy, but he always does mana stacking every league, and he likes to play a build called Mana Bond Mjolnir. And the reason why, I didn't realize this, because I never looked into the build too much, but the reason why he was stuck with Mana Bond is because that socketed lightning spells have no cost if triggered. This doesn't work with Archmage. So a mana stacking build, right, doesn't work. Better. Only Mana Bond works
to DD.
because it specifically has a line that scales with mana cost spent, or mana missing or some shit. And so what this means is, all of a sudden, you're not stuck doing this weird, awkward Mana Bond build that, you know, works, but it's a bit janky, right? Instead, this works on all those lightning abilities that we already looked at, and now works with Archmage. So it's just, basically Mjolnir is back. Mjolnir is unironically back, and you don't need to play fucking shitty goddamn Mana Bond anymore. You can play Arc, you can play Stormcall, you can play Ball Lightning, you can play Lightning Conduit. There's a bunch of options here now. And I think this build could potentially be a fucking sick league starter. This is probably like, sorry, not league starter.
To DD Blast.
A build that you reroll into. A build that you reroll into. It could be a good second build. But the cool thing is, you can league start with the regular Archmage build and transition, and the regular Archmage looks like it would be an absolute top tier contender for a league starter. Now this is the POB that I'm looking at right now. I guess I should just show you. Now this is an endgame POB, but it's not like it's not the Mana Bond Archmage Mjolnir in-stacking bullshit. This is an endgame build for me. Right, like in hardcore, like solo self-fan, for example. I'm still tweaking it. I'm 1 point over, but you can see the EHB values are pretty sick, right? It's got good defense. It can survive an Uber Shaper Slam with the guard skill up, which I think is that's a good break point. You know, if you can survive an Uber Shaper Slam with Mole Shell, or in this case, Arcane Cloak, I think that's pretty ethical. And then it actually has evasion. Because a lot of these mana stackers, they have the capacity to get a lot of evasion stacking, but they don't because they want to squeeze out 50% more damage, which I don't think is necessary anymore. As you can see, the damage is more than enough. And I think this would be a fun build to play. It would be very strong, totally league start viable. You wouldn't have this gear in a league start, of course, but this would be what you would transition to roughly week 1, right? League POB. I'm not ready to share it yet. Okay, I'm not ready to share it yet. Especially because there's some questionable gear in here. But the theory is there. The theory is there. Boo. No. I mean, no, I'm not willing to share it. Fuck you guys. I know what you guys are like. And so, anyway, point is, I actually think Archmage and Ball Lightning would be a solid league starter. And you don't even have to play Ball Lightning, that's the thing. Although I would... The cool thing is, Archmage actually scales its damage with area of effect. And you have 100% AoE. More if you run a natural. This gives you an extra 36. Well, let's look at the tie list. Let's see. Lining Out is not viable for Ubers. Splitting Steel would be really fucking hard to play. Corrupting Fever is not Uber viable. Bama is... Bama's a weird one. It can definitely do some Ubers. It just can't do them all. Righteous Fire, you didn't want to play it, and it's also shit for Ubers. Explosive Trap or Shrapnel, I think, is uber viable. What kind of damage numbers do you get on this bad boy? I think you do get up to like 10 mil plus, right? Artillery Ballista is fine. It's literally just like EA basically, so that's fine. Artillery Ballista is totally viable for Ubers. Ignite's obviously viable for Ubers, but you didn't want to play Ignite. Explosive Arrow is viable, but you didn't want to play Ignite. Bone Shadow is viable. Takes more work now though, like a lot more work, but it's viable. It is. I mean, I know Khan is baby raging, but I think he's baby raging specifically from the league starter point of view. Like whenever like people talk about melee being dead, Khan always says, "Oh, but you have to league start it. You have to league start it. If you don't league start it, it's fine. It's a much stronger like second character now." But yeah, league starter got pooed on for sure. Poison Pathfinder also got pooed on pretty big. Still viable though. I guess that's the thing. Even though it got pooed on pretty hardcore, it's still probably viable. It's just more balanced now. I guess there's the reason why it's all the way down here. Caustic Arrow, TR. Yeah, we already talked about this. It got pooed on, but it's kind of in the same boat that Bone Shed is on. It got pooed on, but it's viable eventually with insane gear. Definitely would be rough to league start that. I would not want to league start this myself. Second build, by the way, doesn't mean like hundreds of divines. It just means you need access to some basic essentials like mana cost crafts and certain uniques and such. I'm pretty sure Armor Brand is actually a really fucking potent build, but I don't know how you fix the defense.
We all know you will end up playing Cock DD,
No,
so
I'm not
just
playing...
come join us already.
I'm not gonna play Cock DD, even though that's obviously the play. I'm not gonna play Cock DD. I'm probably playing Archmage, chat. Do you guys think me... He didn't even put Archmage on the list. Oh, he just said he doesn't know. I'm gonna play Archmage though, I think. So, Palstron, I'll link the video, made a video about Archmage. And in that video, he links a POB, right? And as you can see, the main issue is the damage is fantastic, right? The damage is fantastic. It's got lots of mana. That's very good, very pog. But the defense is abysmal, right? It's 40k, it's super fucking squishy. It does like everything in the entire game, right? Paper. No spell suppression, no avoidance, big shit. Doesn't really have good recovery for ES. It's yeah. So I was like, okay, well, how do you fix the defense? Now, for starters, I noticed that they run Wrath. And I was like, well, why do they run Wrath? It's not that good, right? It's just 20% damage. You gain more damage from the Archmage adjustments. So I was like, okay, replace Wrath for Grace. Right? Now the problem is you have so little evasion scaling and whatnot that becomes kind of useless. It's only 5k evasion. But if you start investing into some basic forms of defense, things like reflexes and yada 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 yada, and you start getting evasion in your gear, yada 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 yada. As you can see, I've converted this version of the build into this version. And so I have 33k evasion with a Jade Flask up, 21k without, which I think is very reasonable. I think that's very reasonable. And it really does give you enough avoidance to not just fall over when you get hit by like a large pack of enemies. And then that evasion also solves your spell suppression because you get reflexes, evasion mastery, evasion ES gear, and you can potentially even anoint spell suppression. You can get suppression on your gloves potentially if you can solve leech somewhere else, either on your tree or whatever. There's lots you can do. How do you deal with Fizz? Now, this is where I would say my mind has been broadened to what's achievable and what is optimal in this game. There's two ways you can deal with Fizz. Number one, you have 5k life and you have 90% mitigation. This equals 50k Fizz EHP, right? So that's option number one. Option number two is to get a really, really big pool, let's say 15k, and then mitigate it by half, and then that's 30k, and that also totally works, right? And that's what we've done here. So as you can see, we have 4k life, 9k mana, right? With 6k energy shield. Now you won't have these values, these are quite extreme. In fact, I'm just gonna nerf one thing right off the bat, because I think I need to drop one of these. Which one is more important? The energy shield or the mana? It's probably the mana, right? Yeah, it's probably the mana. Alright, so you have 4k life, 4k ES, 9k mana, right? And that mana is going to get spent a fair bit, but we can definitely safely assume with the new Archmage that we're getting that 60% value. So I basically have 15k life, which is kind of cool, right? 15k life, 30k evasion, and then I have endurance charges, fist conversion on chest, fist conversion on helm, and I was debating whether or not this mastery is worth it for the fizz damage taken as chaos. It's a debate. I haven't decided yet. Are you using Mind Spiral? Early on, yeah. Late game, no. Late game, you want as much fizz damage taken as possible. Yeah, I do need to trim 6 points. It is a bit hard to hit level 106, I agree. We go through this every time we make a build. We always have to trim. Here's the thing though. You should be trimming, because then you get to find out the weakest parts of your build, right? Think about it. Like, what's the weakest part of this build right now? You know what I mean? The Stormweaver node. That is pretty bad, actually. Holy shit. Yeah, what the fuck? That's actually... Can I get that? You know what the problem is, though? This mastery is really good. Nuke the left side and anoint. Oh, shit. shit. Oh shit. Oh no, do I not have a mana mastery? I do. Okay. So, arcane capacitor. Wow, now I have 5 extra points spare. Holy shit. And mana regen's still okay. And EH, wow, I think this is just good across the board, right? Huh. You dropped a lot of life though? Oh shit. Oh, my life is terrible. Wait, guys, are you trying to kill me? I mean, this was good until I looked at the life. Is this actually a net positive? I don't know if it is anymore. My damage is lower, my mana is lower, my life is lower, my energy shield is actually a bit lower, yeah. I don't know if this was a positive change. Just drop shell and you have HP. Guys, 17% shell is like OP though. It's like actually OP though, chat. It's like actually OP, guys. Drop shell. Chat, I understand you want me to drop shell, but I'm telling you 19% shell is ridiculous. Like, this is a crazy amount of defense. Like, this is absolute, like, it is so good, dude. How good's the mana recovery on this build? Very good, actually. It's fucking insane, actually. I'm very happy with the mana recovery. 109, are you gonna take? We were gonna... I kind of slapped in Whispers of Doom. It is pretty insane. Because I have the ability. I should run, I should fix this as well. Hold the phone. Honestly, this looks really good. I think this is the build, chat. So we have 19% shell, 22% shock, you know, 9 to 10 mil DPS depending on gear and jewels and all that kind of shenanigans. We have ailment immunity, suppression, 30k evasion with flask, 20k without. We have phasing. I could potentially drop the quartz flask too, but we have 2 sources of phasing. We have Quicksilver and Silver Flask and Onslaught on kills. We have Giga, Onslaught and everything, Flagellant. We have Mana Flask. I mean, everything looks good. I don't see anything wrong with this build at all. I mean, it's a bit patty because it's got Focus and Intensify, but that's fine. There you go. Those are the 2 PBs if you guys are curious. The save is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think this is going to be my league starter. I think the next thing we do is we make a POB with dog shit gear. Basically, the Palstron's version with, like, complete bare bone shit. But I need to build more defense. So I'm gonna have to, like... I'm gonna have to lower his damage and increase the defense. I'm just gonna go grab a coffee, chat, because my head is, like... Like, I need coffee. I'm addicted to coffee. What can I say?